Welcome back. In this video, we will look at the functional model. What you are seeing here is the functional model defined for IMT 2020 or 5G. So we will use this as a reference model for our discussion. Basically, the machine learning model has these functional components. The first one is the data sources. Next, you have data collection and data preprocessing components. Then modeling and training component, anomaly detection and anomaly prediction component, and a decision component. The box which is circled in blue on the left has the traditional network functionalities or network elements. And the box circled in red has the components of the machine learning overlay. So the box in the blue has the data sources. Like for example, if we take a mobility network, the data sources are the user equipment, or the eNode bits which are part of the EU-TRAN, or the core elements like MME, S gateway, P gateway. Okay, so the figure shows a clear separation between the network entity and the machine learning overlay. And standard interfaces are used between the network resources and the machine learning overlay. So this will help to accommodate changes in the network which happen quite frequently. And the machine learning overlay and the network, they both can evolve independently. So coming to the data collection component, it is responsible for collecting data from the source nodes. So in the context of this discussion, the source data will be KPI data. As we saw previously, this data would be from multiple source nodes. Data from source nodes is typically transferred via standard protocols, data models, and data formats at configured periodicity, like SFTP, SOAP, XML. So next is the data preprocessing component. It is responsible for ETL. So ETL is a set of processes for getting data from distributed source nodes to a data warehouse. During the extraction phase, both structured and unstructured data is imported and consolidated into a single repository. So during the transformation stage, noisy data or data not relevant for the machine learning purpose is cleaned and filtered. Then you have, if any redundant data is there, it is discarded. Inconsistencies and missing values are resolved. And finally, scaling and normalization of data is done. So coming to the loading stage, the transformed data is loaded into a new destination. So finally, the historical QoS data repository is loaded with the transformed data. The data repository is storing the preprocessed data. So we so far collected data and preprocessed data. So the next step is to analyze the preprocessed data so that we can establish a baseline or normal behavior. So once we know the normal behavior of these KPIs, we can detect any deviations from the normal behavior. Modeling and training plays the role of establishing the baseline or normal behavior. Machine learning models can be constructed using the preprocessed KPI data. So these models can be based on supervised learning, semi-supervised learning, or unsupervised learning, either alone or in combination. So we will discuss this in the later videos. Training the model can be offline or online. So in the simplest sense, offline learning is an approach where all the data is ingested at one time to build the model. Whereas online learning, it's an approach that ingests data one observation at a time. So online learning is efficient and adaptable as the data distribution changes. So KPI assurance models are generally designed to be used in real-time or dynamic environments. So it is better to adopt online learning approach. So the functional model is now able to collect data, pre-process data, train model or models, either in offline mode or online mode. So the next step is to make use of this model to detect or predict anomaly. Anomaly detection involves finding patterns in data that do not conform to the expected behavior. Earlier we saw how the models are created. So these models are deployed and fed with new data to find anomalies. Once the anomaly is detected, it needs to be associated with the alarms and network configuration. So this is typically done using association rules and fault recovery rules. After this, the system needs to generate an event to the NOC with the right level of details. So NOC can then analyze the root cause and trigger the corrective action. The system can automatically decide the alarm root cause and trigger the fault recovery action, that is one option, or it may raise alert to the operator and fault recovery is initiated after the approval by the NOC person. So each of these nodes in the figure, they implement a component in the functional model. These nodes are combined to form a solution. Like each functionality in the machine learning pipeline, it is defined as a node. For example, source node, collector node, preprocessor, model, policy, sync. So it is not practical that all the nodes will be from the same company and will be deployed together. So that is why it is important that these nodes follow well-defined interfaces and data formats. Then it will be easy to connect the machine learning functions or nodes to form a complete machine learning pipeline. So machine learning function orchestrator, it monitors and manages the machine learning pipeline nodes. So it will be the machine learning function orchestrator. So we'll be connecting the machine learning functions or nodes together to form the complete machine learning pipeline based on the use case. In the next video, we will look at anomalies or outliers in greater detail.